Good evening, everyone. Good evening to my brothers, Yanez and Willy Gibson. Welcome to another Folks Talking Sports. Houston Roundball Review presents Folks Talking Sports. How y'all doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well today. I got things accomplished that I wanted to, yard work and other recycling things. So I felt like a person that loves the earth and all that glorious stuff. So let's get into it. Yanez, the youngster of the group, the young man who tweets updates to help old heads like me and youngsters like Will keep up with U of H's football. So you got anything to report right off the top of the show, Mr. Yanez?
Game, I think Houston's barely on their second offensive drive. So far, so good. They had the best opening drive. The defense forced a 3-and-out, and then the Cougars' offense was able to march down the field and score a touchdown. Clayton Tune looked real sharp, found 5 different receivers and route to an 11-yard touchdown pass to Christian Trahan. And right now, Houston's offense is back on the field, and they just picked up a first down on third down. So, hey, so far, so good. It's still in the first quarter, but Houston's leading 7-0.
7-0 over Tulane Green Wave on the road. Games on ESPN, I think. But of course, everybody, you want to watch us. You want to watch Folks Talking Sports. You can come here and get updates from Andy. And while you listen to us pontificate on all things sports related. Will Gibson, you got anything you want to get off the top of your head? I'm gonna give you the solo camera if you're ready for it, man. You ready?
No, I'm not ready for it, but I'll take it.
Okay, well that's good. We adjust on the fly. You got it.
Yeah, but no, we Big Ten Media Days for basketball will started today, closed tomorrow, and Chris Holtzman, and Kevin McGuff, men's team and women's team's head coaches, just typical. Well, we're excited. Impact of COVID last year and what they're looking for going into the 2021-2022 season. So that's pretty much what I was looking into now. Of course, Buckeyes football team homecoming against Maryland on this Saturday at noon Eastern, 11 Central on Fox. So that's always must-see TV as well. So,
come on, sir, you got one more thing to share, don't you, my man? About the FUBO and gambling.
That's
it. You don't want to touch on that, or at least laugh about it, or tell me what you said earlier today.
Sports betting is not permitted in the state of Ohio.
But that's not what the Dan Gilbert's trying to do inside his arena.
Yeah, he had a casino once upon a time up the street too. Once upon a time, but no more.
Okay,
it's not gonna happen, man. It's not.
Well, all right. I mean, because what is the deal? They're trying to tie in. It's the fan friendly. It's not money gambling.
Well, they've always had the Cavs pick them on their app.
Okay.
Who's going to score for us? Who's going to do that? They've always done that, but now it's just FUBO Gaming attached as the official sponsor, somewhat. And yeah, it's cool, but Governor Mike DeWine's not having that.
And I'm pretty sure Tillman would probably do something similar here, but I mean, what good would it do? Governor Abbott's the same way here. It's like Lieutenant Governor. They'd rather the gambling money go to Louisiana and other states. But I digress. Anyway, okay.
Mm-hmm. We got another scoring update. UH just scored another touchdown this time. Clayton Tune found Jeremy Singleton for a 17-yard score. So Houston's up. Pending PAT, 14-0.
Well, maybe Tulane is worse than I realized. During the offseason, I picked them to win because I like, a couple things. Short turnaround, and I like Coach Fritz more than I like Dana Holgerson. So, in believing who's a better coach.
PAT is good, 14-0. But, yeah, I believe this is going to be the third game for Houston in 12 days. So, if they can come out of that stretch 3-0, that's pretty impressive. Like, both of us didn't expect them to go undefeated during that stretch, just in terms of how difficult, how big of a turnaround, or how quick of a turnaround that was.
But kudos. I guess you need to give the defense credit. The defense is doing a good job dominating.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
Opponents. Lesser opponents or not, they're still doing a good job containing them. So if they didn't do it, we talk about them negatively. So they're doing it positively. Got to give them credit for that. So
For sure. And if they can win this game, it'll be big because then they have a bye week. Then they play East Carolina, which would be the biggest trap game on the schedule, because after that East Carolina game is a date with SMU, who is just last week got into the top 25 in the AP poll. So if Houston can take care of business at that game right before Halloween, I believe October 30th would be a pretty interesting game at TDCU. Might be the biggest game that Houston has had, certainly under the Dana Holgorsen era, if they can take care of business like they're doing right now, and also against East Carolina.
I would say so. And SMU being ranked, it's an in-state opponent, in-state rival. SMU football is probably more highly thought of right now in-state than U of H, despite U of H being invited to the Big 12.
Right.
It would help U of H to win that game, so they could get bragging rights. And then we beat SMU. SMU's already claimed one win over Big 12, beating TCU, claiming the DFW area. Well, U of H beats SMU. U of H can claim Texas and say, oh, by the way, we beat y'all and we're going to the Big 12. So, that'll be good for bragging rights and recruiting. And that's the most important thing, because U of H and Dana need to do a better job in the talent level recruiting going to the Big 12. Jorge Sandoval, I really got to get my man. I'm going to, can he give me the phonetics on that? Because if it's Jorge, I want to say Jorge. I can say Jorge. I'm not
Jorge.
That, I'm not you. Whatever. But he's talking about Rockets in the Heat. A 9 p.m. Central Time tip-off preseason game in H-Town. You had a suggestion. Maybe Tillman did this so they could have the watch party for U of H Tulane at Toyota Center.
Yeah, that was interesting. They did a bad job of advertising it, if that was the reason why.
Shocking. Go figure.
I didn't know about it. So when did I send that to you? Tuesday? Wednesday? Yeah. I mean, I hadn't heard about it until I saw that post. So they did. That was we're both alumni. We didn't hear about it. I hadn't heard about it since then.
Yeah. Hear that, Will. Okay. U of H, well, the Rockets are having a watch party at Toyota Center right now for fans to come in early, because they have a 9 p.m. tip-off to come in and watch U of H football and Tulane on the big screens.
Yeah.
Okay. No word of it until Tuesday. No mention of it, no promotion of it until Tuesday. How do you expect people to know about it? Unless you promote it in time to give them notice, let them plan for it, make an evening of it.
Now, is it only for ticket holders to the Rockets game, or can anyone come? How do they? What's the deal with that?
Andy,
do you know any more details about that?
Yeah, I'd imagine that they'd have to get tickets at least to the Rockets game ahead of it, but
I would assume so.
Yeah, that's why I asked that, because maybe that's
tickets. Yeah. You have to purchase tickets, of course.
But it's preseason.
No longer available.
There aren't that many people at the game Tuesday for the Rockets Wizards game preseason.
And actually, now that I'm looking at that tweet, I mean, it wasn't even the Rockets or U of H's account tweeted it. It was the Houston alumni, the University of Houston alumni.
Well, that makes even more sense, because U of H alumni associations, many of them, pick a business, pick a college, has never been great at promoting and marketing itself and events in a timely manner. So that hasn't changed since I was there, and that's almost 30 years ago. But and Andy's learning that right now. So so figure it out, do the math. I'm not going to make too much of a deal about Rockets Heat preseason. I know the Rockets did announce the injury report. Eric Gordon's out with an ankle, and I noticed EG. He was running the stairs yesterday at the end of practice, and he seemed to have a little hitch in the giddy up. He wasn't walking well, but we didn't have to speak to him, so wasn't a chance to get any more details about it. It just looked like he was in discomfort. As he was walking down the steps. So now we find out it was an ankle injury. And, well, we wish him well. And hopefully not a long-term issue. It's a shame. Eric Gordon, he puts in the work, works out, summertime, works on his game, shot, etc. But he always just seems to get injured through no fault of his own. So, he just has to overcome it and deal with it. Miami Heat, hope we get Will back on here. Miami Heat, because I want to talk to him about that, and you as well, about the former NBA players charged with committing fraud and medical and dental.
That was wild.
But obviously,
two ex-Rockets on that list.
Yeah, I remember Terrence Williams. I remember talking to him, interviewing him a few times in the locker room. So yeah, Eric Gordon out, left ankle soreness. John Wall out. It's weird seeing John Wall. Saw him at practice, and it's just he wasn't participating in practice from what we saw, but he was there, and I was like, well, there's John Wall. So, but for the Heat, Marcus Garrett, questionable lower back spasm. Udonis Haslem out, personal reasons. Caleb Martin out, right ankle sprain. Victor Oladipo out, right knee surgery. VO going down the Eric Gordon path. That stays injured. Gabe Vincent out, left groin strain. Rockets Heat, ESPN 2, tipping off 9 p.m., 9:05, roughly like that. I'm not really curious. Just hopefully see Jalen Green shoot better. Didn't shoot well in Tuesday's game. I did not make a three-pointer. I'm not going to make a big deal about it. But your thoughts on, did y'all watch, either one of y'all watch the game, the Rockets game? Will, have you seen the Cavs preseason so far?
I've seen it. I'll actually be there tomorrow. It's preseason. It's what I know. My eyes tell me they lost by 36 on Tuesday, but they won by 3 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah, I mean, fans have a different perspective from media. Coaches have a different perspective from both of us. I'm kind of curious to see which Rockets play tonight. Minute-wise should be the same, 25 minutes or so, max for everyone. With Eric Gordon out, probably get more minutes for Josh Christopher and probably Armani Brooks. Wait a minute.
Eric Gordon out? No.
Shocking, isn't it? Yeah,
no.
Shocking. Yeah. Left ankle soreness, EG out. Yes. So, that's
probably why he's still on the Rockets roster.
And that's a good point. He's got to stay healthy to want a team to trade for him. His contract is reasonable, but is he healthy? And can he stay healthy? So that's going to, I don't say it hinders the Rockets. It may delay them trading him, but the Rockets made a blockbuster trade. I kid. Waiving Kyrie Thomas, trading for former Detroit Piston, who I know his game pretty well, Sekou Doumbouya. They waived Sekou today. Basically, they just traded him, got him from Brooklyn for an unprotected second-round pick in 2024. Waived him today. They're going to pay him $3 million, last year of his rookie deal, to go away. So Sekou, I'm surprised when he was drafted by Detroit at 15, going on 3 years ago now, I think. I'm surprised the commentators did not say, or maybe I missed it, tag him with he's 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Greatest line ever. Because
he was talented in France, but he was young. Played the game, started playing basketball. I think around 15, 16 years old. Came over to Detroit, had some flashes here and there with some skills about potential. But the red flag that turned me away from him was I heard that he had problems getting to practice on time. Young fella, this is a job. You got to get to practice on time. You got to be there early. And that was a problem. Well, new GM Troy Weaver, hey, I didn't draft you. So if I'm going to find something that I can get for you, bye. So he got something for him. The Nets waived what got him to the Rockets. Rockets waived him today. So good luck to him. Maybe he'll catch on a G League team or go back overseas, go to France and decide if he wants to be a pro, because that's first things first. Because if pro basketball is for him, especially NBA, go back home, try to make some money over there. If that's what you want to do, fine. If not, get this money this year, get this season, then do something else with your life. Andy, have you got anything from the American yet, or from U of H yet?
From U of H, I haven't. Then let me double check to confirm, but I don't think so. Regarding
AAC Media Day, yes. Will, you touched on it. The Big Ten had basketball media day today, day one, right? And the day two will be tomorrow. The American Athletic Conference, and that was in person, right? It's in person. Big Ten, right?
It is in person.
The AAC is going to have virtual media days on the 13th and 14th. U of H will be, and that can be seen on ESPN Plus. U of H will go on the 13th. Both men's and women's coaches and one or two student assets will be available to speak to the media. I got the notification from a conference Tuesday. Andy, I think I sent it to you Tuesday, right? I mentioned it to you Tuesday.
Correct.
Had to fill out the credential. I did that. But so far, Mr. Yanez and Mr. James Mueller have not received anything yet from U of H. So hopefully Friday or Monday, they'll get that taken care of so they can be a part of it and participate. And I'm sure they have some riveting questions to ask Kelvin Sampson and Ronald Huey about the upcoming season. Fellas, I'm still waiting for this young lady to announce her commitment to U of H women's basketball. I've waited on it for almost a month now. She's outside of Texas. I won't give, until she announces it, I'm not going to mention her, give her name away, take away any of her shine or anything like that. She's waiting to finalize all her, what do you want to call it, promotion, movie, whatever you want to put, production she wants to put together for Instagram or Twitter or TikTok or Snapchat or whatever Andy's generation does. Like, what's the young man's name? Jared McCain.
Jared McCain. They're not even my generation anymore. They're generation. There's our own generation. There's two different types of Gen Zs. When I grew up, I grew up just before it was, and this is going to sound so funny. This is divided. I apologize. No, wait. What I was going to say, I grew up right before the smartphone era, where like smartphones were like the norm, like where people just grow up and everyone automatically has smartphones. Like, yeah, I was already up with the internet and all that stuff, but there's a difference between once the iPhone came along and the smartphones became like taking over. That was the most common thing. I still grew up just before, whenever I still got to experience the flip phone era. So there's a difference. There's a difference.
I mean, technically, your logic is sound. I'm going to go dictionary on you for a second.
Oh, yeah, we're all Gen Z. But
dictionary says generations are every 30 years. But anyway, did you see? Let's see. Okay, per Jonathan Fagan, Daniel House is joining the Rockets starting lineup with Eric Gordon out. So that's good. So it should be House, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Tice, and Christian Wood. And personally, I think Daniel House or Jay Shante should be starting anyway, with Eric Gordon coming off the bench. I think it balances out the team better with scoring. But anyhow, I digress. I am not Coach Steven Silas. But back to youngster Andy Yanez. Well, I don't know. Did I send you the Jared McCain
yes
TikTok thing?
Yeah, you did.
I hope Tamer can join us, because I sent it to her and she was like, yeah. She corrected me, because what I sent out to friends and colleagues was a meme. I mean, Tamer corrected me, said no, memes are for TikTok. Twitter. That's a TikTok thing, whatever. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know there was a difference. So whatever. But yeah, Jared sent out, what is it, a 5-8 second TikTok of
about 5 seconds.
Whatever, dance, move, something or other with a song playing in the background.
It wasn't a song.
Oh, okay, what is it? Andy, tell me what it is.
It's
a line from a movie. That's what I've heard. Is it a line from a movie?
Yeah, it's kind of, see, with TikTok, you have the tradition where you can put songs and like make stuff like that. But what's more common in terms of, I guess, the more viral videos is whenever if you could take a certain scene from a movie, and this is general sense because I know there's like 100 different other things you can do on TikTok, and then just like act it out, sort of, obviously with the audio over, but you're acting out with the audio's playing.
Okay. So the killer is escaping or something like that.
Yeah, that's what came out.
Yeah, and he's done that a few times and for other TikToks. And okay, but we're talking about Jared McCain because he had an official visit to the University of Houston over the weekend, Friday through Sunday. 5-star guard, 6'2", 6'3" guard from California, part of the Team Why Not AAU program, which I think is Russell Westbrook's program.
It is.
So just put all that together. I've said it, Andy, I said it to you. I've said it to other people. U of H 5-star talent has noticed and is noticing the University of Houston men's basketball program. So they are coming on visits. Jarris Walker should be here. What is it, Andy? On the 19th or the 28th? By the end of the month, he's supposed to make a visit. He hasn't announced a commitment to anybody else, has he? That I missed?
No, he hasn't.
Okay.
Let me double check when he has Houston.
He's a 5-star, 6'8", 6'9" forward who looks like
220, 6'8".
Yeah, he looks bigger than that because it's all muscle. I mean, he kind of looks like I forgot the analogy that I used to compare him with, but he is quite muscular, very in shape young man until he works out, hits the weights as well, but skilled big man for U of H. 5-star, so he's a 5-star. Jared McCain is a 5-star. Terrence Arsenault is a 4-star, probably maybe on the border of being a 5-star if he has a great senior season for Beaumont United, and especially if he leads him back-to-back state championships. And if you didn't see the clips put on his Twitter, his highlights, Terrence Arsenault blocking shots, hitting threes, beating guys off the dribble, defending guards, swatting their shots try to get by him on layups. Total package for him. So it looks like, again, Coach Sampson, U of H has a talented player. Andy, let's discuss 18 former NBA players charged with defrauding NBA's health and welfare benefit plan. When you saw it, heard it, what did you think? What was your first reaction? Andy, you first.
Yeah, I think I sent it to you as soon as I believe it was Shams that tweeted, or maybe it might have been Shams. One of those two tweeted out the list of I believe it was 10 or how many players was it again? Or former players?
It's 18 total.
18.
One article said 15 NBA, and but I think they were wrong on that. But I think it's 18 total. Yeah,
with some of the names that were on the list, like Tony Allen, Glenn Davis, and even like I mentioned with the two former Rockets, you mentioned Terrence Williams. The other one was Greg. When he was with the Rockets, he went by Greg Smith. I don't know if I'm assuming his full name was Gregory Smith, but that's shocking. First of all, when you look at some of the names on the list, but also you don't really think about it. Fraud at that level against the NBA, to me, it's just shocking.
Will, what do you think?
Yeah, when I saw the names, Big Baby Davis, that stuck out. Like, he's had some headlines since he left the game previous with some illicit selling of some substances, and allegedly. Jamario Moon, former Cavalier, that kind of stuck out, and then Darius Miles.
And isn't Darius Miles part of Knuckleheads?
Yes.
So I wonder, did he just, because I think 15 or 16 of these guys got arrested.
Yeah.
So if he's one of those who got arrested, I wonder if knuckleheads will be in repeats for a while.
Yeah. Could very well be. And then I heard what they did. The
Yes.
actual act
Yes.
of fraud. I'm like, are you serious? The same root canal
On the same day.
on the same tooth on the same day. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull that particular part of it up. Yeah. Davis, Roden, and Allen all claim to have had crowns on the same 6 teeth on the same day, May 11th, 2016, according to the indictment. And so let me read the names real quick, pull it up. But yeah, I was just got Terrence Williams, the mastermind.
Yeah, I saw that. I was sorry.
Alan Anderson, Anthony Allen, Shannon Brown, Will Bynum. Oh, snap. Excuse me. According to the government, William Bynum.
Yeah.
Christopher Douglas Roberts, Memphis. Melvin Eli, UNLV. Jamario Moon. Milton Palacio, who was on the Blazers coaching staff. Ruben Patterson, Eddie Robinson, Gregory Smith, Charles Watson Jr., Antoine Wright, and Anthony Roden. And I don't know why they didn't include Sebastian Telfair as part of the ex-players, but Seb's in there too. Oh my goodness, man. I just read the article. I'm just shaking my head at all this stuff for dental and medical claims. I'm just, nothing. And the indictment alleges that Williams impersonated an individual who processed the claims, and he threatened a potential witness. Oh my goodness. And he, as mastermind, received $230,000 in kickbacks from the other defendants for his role in the fraud.
Forgive my snark. But can we call him a mastermind if they got caught?
Thank you. That's really where I'm going with this as well, especially for 3 of them to do have the same thing done, the same teeth on the same date.
Yeah.
Y'all to think that through.
Yeah.
I mean, dentist office in Encino, California, or something like that. And was it Terrence Williams who had a claim for dental work while he was playing overseas in Taiwan? I think that's how this all started. He was requesting reimbursement of like $48,000 while he was hooping in Taiwan. Oh, boy, and it's not a player thing. It's not a black thing. If folks can get over, they can try to get over. It's players, it's athletes, actors, politicians, real folks, because fraud is everywhere. We get those ridiculous, stupid calls, and we got all those ridiculous emails and, my Nigerian prince, stuff. So it's all out there. So let's not just put the players, see, NBA players, blah, 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 blah. Look at the NBA. Give that a rest, or you're just trying to get that angle on what you want to do. So don't bring that on this show. But did y'all see the dunk? Will?
I saw it.
Jared Allen, did they make memes of him being the new Brandon Knight?
Not yet. I haven't seen them, but I'm sure it's coming.
And did you see the dunk?
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm forgetting who the player was.
John Collins. John Collins.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. So it's 14-8 now. Excuse me. Okay, so Tulane, Coach Fritz is making some adjustments. And
yeah, Houston, they finally stopped Houston on offense, and then the defense got, for one of the rare times, at least the last few weeks, they got torched down the field, and then they got penalized on the PATs. Tulane ended up going for it from the 1-yard line and converted, so it's 14-8.
Well, is it still first quarter?
No, they're in the second.
Second quarter? Okay. Y'all got any thoughts on the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight?
I'm torn. I want to see.
Torn?
Why am I torn?
Yeah.
I love the Deontay Wilder. I do. But I got to see something more than what I saw in fight 2.
Hey, indeed.
Tyson Fury.
Andy, are you a boxing person?
I don't know too much about
you're probably
this matchup.
UFC, MMA kind of stuff, aren't you?
Yeah. How'd you know?
Generation, just generational thing. Yep. That's just not my thing,
No.
But I'm with you, Will. Deontay Wilder, he doesn't move, man. He just stands there. He's just stiff. He got a great right hand.
Yep.
Do more with your jab. Be busy.
Yep.
Tyson Fury, man, he's moving all around. And our man Andre Jones today on the lunch break, he looked like Fury was in the Matrix. I mean, he was just moving all around and just the head movement and everything.
Yep.
I don't see that changing. I mean, if Deontay hasn't changed his style, it'll be the same result. Unfortunately for him.
Right.
But yeah, pay-per-view Saturday, $80 on ESPN Plus, wow. And I think Fox pay-per-view as well. So, okay. That's, I need to go to a party or something. We can chip in, $5 each, give me 15 other friends, we can put it in and go like that. That's $80. That's a hit right there, folks on a budget. So, but waiting on Chamber to chime in. I mean, I haven't heard from her that she's not going to be able to join us or not. But Andy, are preseason games in any pro sport worth anything?
Of course, they're worth something, especially for the younger players that are new to the league, and you're getting to see how they can kind of do in a much more NBA-like atmosphere. But certainly, I guess when you think about like the more veteran type of players that have been in the league a couple of years, I mean, honestly, for them, it doesn't really it serves as a tune-up to just kind of slowly ease into the regular season, but you can't take much away from it. I remember I learned this lesson in the 2018-19 season when Michael Carter Williams for the Rockets looked like he was going to be like the sixth man of the year for the Rockets. Like I know a lot of people are comparing him to Sean Livingston, like he could fill that type of role for the Rockets. And then once the regular season started, he fell off a cliff with the production he had seen in the preseason. So of course you're going to take everything with a grain of salt, but I think especially for the younger players, it's valuable.
Will?
Well, I hate to go Kanye on you, but well, to who? You say, is it worth anything to who? Let me ask that.
No, you tell me who you think it's worth. I think it is for youngsters, not veterans. Old heads, always don't even play. They just sit on the bench in the nice clothes.
And that's what I was going to say. In the NBA, no, I don't think it's worth anything because they take 20 players to camp, correct? Max of 20.
Yep.
Max of 20. And you can take 15 to your roster. They know day one who's going to make the 15. I very rarely see a shock where somebody, one of the 5
true
others,
make
the 15. So it's like, what are we doing? I don't. That for me, I just don't. I don't see the worth in it from that perspective.
I like if we got fans who are tuning in, give me your thoughts on it, especially for full price. If y'all are buying a ticket, don't make it full price for preseason games. I'm glad because hell, the NBA used to have 8 preseason games. Yeah, now it's 4. That's 8 was ridiculous. Just like the NFL used to have 4, and if you played the Hall of Fame game, it was 5. Full price, and they were part of the season ticket packages.
Yep. So
teams told fans, if you want season tickets, you're paying for the preseason games as well.
Yep.
That's a sham. That's a scam. That's what that is. That is a pure scam. And I'm glad fans finally realized it and finally spoke up and said, we're not doing this. And, NFL preseason game number 1, the vets, they may play a series if they play at all. So fans are paying top dollar to see their stars maybe for one series.
And it's pure profit for the owners because players aren't getting game checks for preseason games. You get a per diem. Yes. It's nowhere near a game check.
So, it's content. I understand that part of it. But media-wise, it's good content for media. But other than that, Doc Rivers, I agree with Doc. Especially nowadays when we were Andy's age, teams had 2-a-days practices.
Right.
Now they've cut back on that because, kind of preserve the players' bodies for the long grind of the season. And if they go twice, the second practice is really just a walkthrough or a shoot around, or not shoot around, but a shooting session or film sessions. Rockets have one long practice, and then the players can come back and just watch film or just shoot in the gym. Let's do that. These preseason games, okay. ESPN2 show the Rockets. It's going to be good fluff. I mean, we're probably going to learn some things about certain players during this broadcast that we had no idea because they got to fill the space. But the announcers are going to ooh and ah. Did you see that move by Jalen Green? Yeah, okay. Good for him.
All right.
Did you see that move by Kyle Lowry if he plays? If he plays a quarter, something. I'm getting old. I'm ready for the real deal. I'm ready for the season to start. I'm showing my age again. When I was 21, oh man, preseason game, baby. Preseason. Gotta look forward to covering this with preseason. Now, whatever. So what? Whatever, But fans, we had a guy call in to AJ's show today on lunch break. Should I be worried about the Lakers based on these 2 preseason games? No. No. Come on. Folks, it's fans like that with that perspective that the owners love. The owners love fans with that perspective because those fans are hooked.
Guys, they got them.
They're hooked.
Got them.
So, Rockets, Heat, 9 p.m. My goodness, the post game won't start until around 11:30. So we got to be up for it. I'll be up for the Zoom calls, and that won't be done till probably 12:30.
Wow.
So for a preseason game, yes, and the game's in Houston.
And Miami's an East Coast team, so if anyone wants to watch that game or has to stay up for that game starts at 10 at night.
Man, oh man. And I thought, I don't know really the rationale behind it, because I first thought it was because it was overseas somewhere. But no, it's here in Houston on ESPN2. So we're just I'm not sure who the announcers are calling the game, but honestly, I really don't care. I'm just going to watch it. Honestly, I'm going to watch a little bit of it and wait for the Zoom post game. That's what I'm going to wait for. Wait for Coach Silas to give me his take on it, and whichever players Rockets media brings to the table to talk to us. That's all I'm waiting on. Because if they have practice tomorrow for media, we can get this same stuff tomorrow. So, but with different players, but game wise, whatever. So what, But
I'll go back to something you said earlier, Kris, as far as
yes.
back in our day, not to sound the old guy, but back in my day, they preseason, the NBA travel. When I say travel, they would have games in Columbus, Ohio. They would bring the Dallas Mavericks to St. John Arena because Jim Jackson, former Buckeye, played for Dallas Mavericks. They would take games to, I don't know, Des Moines, Iowa, or non-traditional markets or markets that didn't have NBA teams. You can see now it's like, I don't know. It's just different. It's way different.
It is. I think there's more hype for Summer League than preseason now. Of course, Summer League's in Vegas now. That might help. But preseason, what are y'all thoughts on Adam Silver's hopes to have in-season tournaments, similar to what we see in European football / soccer, things like that. In-season tournaments, where it's players get $1 million each if they win or whatever. What do y'all think? Thoughts on that? Andy, you first.
What's the point? No, I was gonna say, what's the point of it? Especially if you throw in say they do it in the middle of the season when they throw in an extra tournament. First of all, the players aren't really going to adjust. Like, are you really going to see the top teams try to win this midseason tournament whenever they're – I'd imagine that the goals are still going to be to win an NBA championship down the road. They're not going to buy into it's going to seem more like kind of like a gag that they have in the middle of the season just to try to keep games entertaining. I don't know. I don't think it's something that needs to be added. I think more it's just for fluff and kind of add an entertainment aspect. It doesn't really necessarily add to value or something that would be picked up by the players. And honestly, they'll probably get a lot of pushback.
Oh, it has. Will, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I agree. You hear complaints now about low management, players not playing, sitting out second games or back-to-backs. And you think LeBron's going to play in this midseason tournament? You think, I don't know, Yanez is going to play in this midseason tournament? No. Again, like Andy said, when the goal is still to win the chip and you having this tournament in January, for what? No, I don't. And on top of that, I'm a traditionalist. You know, what are we doing here? It's not, no.
Yeah, you had LeBron complaining about the play-in last year. Imagine if they make the Lakers have to do something like that for a middle-of-the-season tournament. That,
you know, it's money motivated. You know, that's really bottom line. I see it, you know, in soccer Premier League. They go out for UEFA Cups and challenges, you know, during the season, take breaks like Premier League matchups. Example, Saturday and Sunday. And then during the week, they go into a challenge or a cup competition. You know, I mean, that's been established. I'm pretty sure years ago, those players didn't like it either. So Adam Silver's thinking along those lines, but I'd have to go back and find it on YouTube or, you know, but PJ Tucker had a great comment about it. And I just forgot his exact words, you know, and PJ played overseas and probably participated in some of these. And he was like, you know, getting his thoughts. What do you think about it? Hell no. I don't want to do that. You know, so, I mean, well, I think Tamer's joining us audio. So I'm going to give her a shot to call me old about it's TikTok, not a meme. So, Minty, how are you?
Tamer,
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
So are you? We're okay. Are you going to give me any grief about what I said about what I sent you about Jared McCain and TikTok?
You said meme. I told you it was a TikTok.
So meme is just Twitter?
You're old.
No.
Memes are just funny pictures with captions. A TikTok is usually a song and a dance combined. And that's what we saw on that TikTok.
Are you dropping things, Tamer?
I'm not dropping things. I heard there's some background noise.
So it was a TikTok. Okay. I stand corrected. And then she threw another thing out at me showing my old
because
age.
The Houston Rockets. Because it's I mean, if you're not involved, you're at least on social media, so you should be able to put two and two together. I'm sure you've been seeing about Squid Games, even if you don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
You have seen it on the.
No, I haven't.
No, Andy, he had no clue when I sent it to him. Like, come on.
No. Will, have you seen whatever they're talking about?
I've heard of Squid Games. I couldn't tell you Squid Games from calamari.
See, yeah. It's a generational thing. You know, our generation, me and Will, and y'all, Andy and Tamer, two different things. I had no idea. Rockets Twitter put out a picture with a W guy or something after the game Tuesday, and I just thought it represented the fact that they won. You know, Tamer said, no, it's about a Netflix show. I'm like,
it was just a reference to a Netflix show, and it did highlight the win, but you would have had to see the show and know the characters to know the analogy.
Sorry. No clue whatsoever. They had no idea what it was. Still don't have an idea what it was. I think I saw earlier today, I forgot which news show it was. I think they're about to interview the cast from Squid Games, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's what Tamer is talking about. And then I walked out the room. So, you know, I don't care about that. I don't know about that stuff, man. Okay. I watch this is my schedule. When I'm not taking care of my mom, I watch basketball, listen to jazz, and watch mysteries. That's what I do. Okay. I don't do anything else. You know,
I would consider Squid Games a mystery. You
well,
never know
and
what
let
you're
me say
gonna get
this.
on those episodes.
I don't watch. Well, see, there you go. I don't have Netflix anymore. So, you know, don't have that. You know, the stuff I have ESPN Plus. I got the Zone. Yeah, I got sports packages. That's what I have. Come on, man. You know, Tamer, I got Peacock for you in the Olympics. You know, Olympics over, Peacock's done. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever. Oh, yeah, that's me. But score still the same, Andy, 14-8? All right.
Yeah, it's 14-8, and third down for Houston. They've started to stall. They've punted on back-to-back drives, so trying to prevent a punt. And it looks like that Nathaniel Dell just got injured, too. Should be huge because that's their top wide receiver.
That's bad. Okay.
He's really shaking. Oh, it might be a hand injury.
Fagan from the Chronicle, Coach Silas, and it's another example of preseason. I did not think about this when we were planning to do the show today, that because of the 9 p.m. tip-off for the Rockets, Coach Silas's pregame availability would be same time as this show. So I'm missing that. So I'm going to rely on my colleagues. So according to Jonathan Fagan, Coach Silas says Eric Gordon would be playing if this were a regular season game. So the ankle injury is not that severe. So, okay, that's a good thing. You know, and for the Rocket starters, I was correct in my assumption. House, Seawood, Tice, Green, and Scoot, Kevin Porter Jr. So no shock there. Tamer's still there, you know, making fun of me in my old age and my lack of watching hip shows, but it's okay. I am secure in my old age. So, Will, I think you are as well. So
I'm secure in my current age.
So, yeah, we're old compared to these two. So
Fair
we
enough.
we are just experienced. You know,
That's
we're
it.
vintage. Yeah, we're
That's
vintage.
it.
That's what we are. Andy, let me see. Do you have anything? I'm going to say it for the viewers. I got scheduled a conversation interview scheduled this coming Monday with Justin Gorham.
Ooh.
Justin Gorham playing overseas in Germany, getting ready. I think his first game will be Friday. So he's agreed to talk to me on Monday. So we're going to get that together, and I'll put that out there on Houston Roundball Review, the YouTube channel, and tweet it out, of course. But looking forward to talking to the board man for the first time as a pro. So to get his thoughts and see how life is going for him in Germany and how he's adjusting. Andy, did you see the tweet from Corey Davis 2 days ago about college days were the best days of his life? And I forgot the rest of it, but it seemed like Corey, the pro life is different than college life. I think Corey sounded like he was kind of down from that tweet. So hopefully try to reach out to him and talk to him and see how things are going for him too. But
I can agree
Tamer,
with that statement. College was some of the best days of my life.
I think we all could say that. Andy? Will?
I can say that.
No, because I had COVID interrupt my college experience, so it got robbed.
That's 1 year. That's 1 year of 4.
It was more than.
But Andy, COVID, you were able to go to Indianapolis in the Final Four. Well,
that's
tournament.
true.
You know,
That's true. That experience I'll never forget. But then again, I had to go by myself. Nah, but I agree. I agree with that. I feel Corey Davis.
but you know, it's just you got to get used to everything. You got to get used to being on your own and paying your own bills and all that responsibility and all that kind of stuff. But it is different. So you'll get used to it. Some of us still trying to get used to it. So different parts of it. But Tamer.
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
Do you have an update regarding your show?
Actually, I just filmed the second episode today.
Great.
Went very well. It will air a week from today. So if you guys haven't already, check it out. TSU Sports Show on AT&T Sportnet.
So yes, say that one more time.
If you have not gotten the chance to already, be sure to check it out 1 week from today on AT&T Sportnet, TSU Sports Show.
And do you know what time? I think the premiere episode. I mean, well,
I think it's
AT&T.
9. It should be 9 a.m. if they haven't changed it.
But it'll re-air a few times. Let's talk about
Like
that.
20 times.
Yeah. Regional
They've been running the same episode.
Regional sports networks. Andy, Will, Tamer, what are your thoughts? I mean, are y'all noticing the conflicts between the RSNs and cable operators, providers, like Comcast, Xfinity, et cetera, and teams? RSNs going away. RSNs, aren't available on as many platforms as before. What are your thoughts on RSNs? Will, what do y'all have in Ohio?
We have Fox Sports Ohio, but they recently just were acquired by Bally Sports, which is throwing me off because, as showing my age, Bally's was a health club.
Yeah.
Back in the day. So every time I see Bally Sports, I'm like, Jim, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Bally Sports was part of Sinclair Group that bought the RSNs, and I noticed Bally Detroit is part of Bally Sports because I watched the Pistons game last night, and I had the same reaction as you, Will. It was Bally Sports, and I was like, huh? So I was like, because it used to be Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Ohio, Fox Sports Southwest, Fox Sports West. Back in the day, Andy, how far back, Will? There used to be like 20 to 25 RSNs spread out, all over the country.
Yep.
And they were available on almost everywhere.
Yeah.
Different sports packages. Go ahead, Andy.
I was going to say that back then they also had some, at least they would show some regional games like locally in terms of like having it on network TV. I know back then when the Rockets used to play on FSN, they would have like some games on UPN or I think they called it My 20 back then too. Yeah. Like they would have some games like that too. And yeah, you're right. It's gone away since as the years have moved up.
It's different. And NBA's League Pass, I got hit with that bill. Boy, whoo, man, when you want a budget, man, you get that email reminder. It's time to pay up. Boy, okay. I mean, I'm covered basketball, so I got to do it. But God, man,
tax write-off.
Yeah, that's beauty of owning your own business. So things have changed, but RSNs, it's a way for pro teams to make money.
Yeah.
But content-wise, as Tamer touched on, they don't show much besides the game.
Yep.
AT&T Sportsnet shows the Rockets game live, then the post-game show, and then they repeat the game.
Yep.
And then they think they saw that game again the next day. And then besides that, poker.
Yep.
And then maybe you get into
maybe a couple of high school games.
Yeah. And then baseball, the Astros. But other than that, it's just repeats. And now we got TSU Sports, Rice Sports, U of H Sports shows.
They got a Houston show, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be just repeating on loop. I wonder why they never or have yet to invest in content. Shows, original shows. You have a crew. Heck, a nightly sports show, a sports wrap up. Discussing the local teams. The team that you cover in your area. Things like that. do something besides just showing the same stuff over and over again. Maybe Tamer's going to do that with her production company that she's going to create after winning the lottery. Tamer?
Or the lottery, or once I'm a millionaire.
I'll say it'll be interesting. Honestly, I don't think any like regional networks that's going to start fading away even more. But with the streaming platforms, it might provide an outlet or at least an avenue to see a lot more specifically guided content for specific teams. Just that seems to be the direction a lot of stuff is going in, where you could even if it's not streaming or just stuff online, where people that are interested in a certain topic, team, university, or whatever, can have content geared directly on that and just be able to access that if they want to pay. It'll be interesting, man, how it ends up going, but I think that's probably how it'll end up going in terms of specific streaming platforms.
Yeah, because the rumored price that RSNs like Bally's, companies like that were discussing to go streaming was like $20 to $25 a month.
Wow.
Oh no, I'll just wait for the league pass and I'll just get that and be done with it. No. But really, and there was a major pushback on that price point. So we'll see if that was just part of this, a discussion and a negotiation, and it'll change from there going forward. But streaming is where it is, and it took me a while to adjust to streaming. I mean, I'm going to show this shows you how old school I am. I won Roku TV at a Christmas party at the job a few years ago. Roku TV, streaming, okay? I didn't use it for streaming for a year.
Dang.
I just, I used it for my.
So what do you watch?
I used it for my Uverse. It's about 8 years ago. I just used it for my basic packages. The TV went out, so I plugged in the Roku, watched what I used to watch. And then I read what Roku. I was like, oh, I have apps on here that I can use. Oh, let me just go ahead and do these apps, like ESPN Plus and
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube, ESPN.
But and so that's what I'm saying. I'm set my way. I was set my ways. But with youngsters like Tamer and Andy, I am learning to utilize some of the apps. Heck, ESPN Plus. That was a big thing for me, was ESPN Plus. So, and Tamer's making fun of me about Netflix. I had it for the special year off or whatever. Once it ended, I ended it. I was done with it. Okay. The stuff I have, I hardly watch the stuff I have. So that's just me. Will, what do you watch? What do you have? What's your go-to in streaming platform? What do you watch?
We have Fubo. And it's funny, similar to you, I've fought tooth and nail as far as cutting the cord. And I was like, I need, I have my channels. Never mind, I didn't watch them, but to know that they were there,
yes,
I was cool. Like, I'm good. I don't need that. We finally cut the cord, and now we have Roku, we have smart TV with the Fubo, Valley Sports. I downloaded my apps, my ESPN Plus, so. That's pretty much it, man. I watch games like you. I'll watch a game or catch up on, for example, the Browns play the Chargers this week. So I'll go and watch the coaches presser from the Chargers this week. Kind of get informational stuff like that. So, yeah.
Andy, what's your go-to? I'm sure you cut the cord and never even had the cord.
No, I guess my go-to for we got a couple. I guess the main one would be Hulu, but then also because I had Amazon Prime to begin with, I realized a couple of like about a year ago that if you're paying for Amazon Prime, well, you get included like some benefits of having like being able to stream a couple of stuff with Amazon Prime. So I have that as well, and Netflix were the main three.
Tamer?
All right, I really have I'm a streaming type of girl, so top one for me is gonna be HBO Max, and
That's
then
a big one. That's one I need to get.
That's the most expensive
no,
one too, isn't it?
well, it's not that bad.
Yeah, honestly, it's not
It's
that
like
bad.
$12.99.
Yeah, I mean,
$12.99.
Yeah, no, just
Hey, but
relatively speaking, whatever. Go ahead. What else you got?
when you have other people's login information, you don't really worry about the billing.
Oh, Tamer just did something that got me thinking. Okay, she put that out there. She put that out there. She's not the only one who does that. But have y'all heard, read, seen the fight involving the WNBA players?
Yes.
I have
Saw
not.
it.
Tamer?
I don't think I've seen it or heard it.
Okay. Try to be quick, and we're going to wrap up Folks Talking Sports here. Courtney Williams, former guard for the Atlanta Dream. I say that because the Dream said, we're done with you. But they're done with her because she decided to post on her YouTube channel, her and her girlfriend's YouTube channel, Sunday evening, story time, where they discuss and recap what happened in a fight that took place in May outside a club in the parking lot. So they discuss it, 40 minutes of talk, showing clips, different folks, it's 2021. Folks got their phones out. They're recording the fight all over the place in different angles. So Courtney, a pro player, talking about, describing the fight, what happened, reasons for it, everything. Well, Monday, the Atlanta Dream, the WNBA, heard about it, of course, because it was on YouTube. And they have almost 1 million subscribers to that channel. So they began an investigation. Courtney said she deleted the YouTube, show from YouTube, put out an apology statement. And then the Dream said, Courtney, thank you for your time, but we no longer require your services. She and another teammate were clearly seen in the clips throwing hands. Crystal Bradford was kicking on a woman. Kicking, using her foot and throwing hands. So
she set herself up.
Yes, she set herself up, putting this out on YouTube. Renee Montgomery, who is part owner of the Dream, had to discuss this Wednesday during halftime of the WNBA playoffs. And she said back in May, they only saw maybe a 10-second clip of this. So from what they saw in May, according to her, was not a lot. So Renee asked Courtney, is there more to this? Apparently, Courtney said no. Renee left it at that. And that's all she knew. So Courtney could have been good if she just would have left it alone and not put this on YouTube with more clips and more footage and more angles. So now she is an unrestricted free agent. And I'm curious to see if any WNBA team will touch her now because of this incident that she published. And oh my gosh, I saw all 40 minutes of it. I'll never get that time back. Oh man, I just shook my head. I laughed and just shook my head. I laughed because I keep from crying because I was thinking to myself, why are you putting this on YouTube? Why are you saying what you're saying? Why? It was just so unnecessary. And now she's out of a job.
When keeping it real goes wrong.
Amen, sir. Amen. And Yanez, I see you updated.
Entire 40 minutes.
I'm a professional media person, Tamer. I wouldn't be able to discuss it in case I was asked about it. Andy, how did Tulane score? Get the 15.
Yeah, Houston's offense has stalled out again. They punted on the last They punted on the last 2 drives, or they punted 3 out of the last 4 drives. They got a field goal in between there, but yeah, Houston's offense is stalling. The defense has kind of been feast or famine in the second quarter. They gave up a 6-play long drive for another touchdown. So Houston looks like it's going to be a bit of a tough fight in the second quarter. It's pretty much the end of the first half. There's 9 seconds left with Tulane on their side of the field. So that's probably going to be the score heading into halftime. But yeah, Houston's struggling. Nathaniel Dell hasn't been back yet. So curious to see. That's something to monitor for the UH offense. And the O-line just had bad pass protector in the previous drive. Clayton Tune's just gotten sacked twice in like the last 3 plays. So.
Okay, well, I might end up being right. You know, if things continue going better for Tulane second half. And once again, Tamer, chime in on this. Chime in as well. One reason I picked Tulane in our off-season predictions was better coaches on the Tulane sideline, not the U of H sideline. So we'll see if that continues. More adjustments are made in the second half. And if Nathaniel Dell is out for U of H, that's a big blow. So
I'm trying to find out.
If U of H loses, what would their record be, Andy?
They'd be 4-2 with a loss.
Difference between 4-2 and 5-1. In Tulane's record, they're what, 1? They only won one game.
1-4. Yeah, they're 1-4. So
which is very weird for Tulane, if you ask me. It's not really like them heading into the conference play.
Well, after the first game that they had, it was a bit of a shock, but really they've struggled since they had to play up in Oklahoma. They've really struggled since then. Yeah.
And we're going to wrap it up here. Folks talking sports, talked about different stuff. We talked about some boxing, you know, and some WNBA. Oh, playoffs, WNBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Got touch on this. Chicago Sky eliminated the top seed, Connecticut Sun, winning game 4 to advance to the WNBA finals. Candace Parker, the vet, won't call her old because she still got some skills left in her game. I think she took advantage of the 2 days off between games 3 and 4 to give her body some rest that she needed. She shined, put in work, and helped carry the Sky to the finals, WNBA finals. They'll either play the Las Vegas Aces or the Phoenix Mercury, who play game 5 Friday, October 8th at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Gibson. And game 1 will be of the WNBA finals will be on Sunday. I think that'll be on ABC. That's on the time, and blog post is on my Houston Roundball Review women's blog. You can go check that out. But yes, talked a little bit about WNBA fighting. The league got to do better than, hey, keep this stuff in house. Players got to be smarter than this, man. Put this stuff on YouTube. Come on, people. I mean, come on, really? Come on now. And we're still 50-plus minutes away from the Rockets Miami Heat game on ESPN2, preseason game number 2 for the Rockets. Eric Gordon will be out with a minor left ankle issue. Starters will be Daniel House, Christian Wood, Daniel Tice, Jalen Green, and Kevin Porter Jr. What do I think? Your thoughts on that starting 5 there? Andy, you first.
I think it's much more of a conventional lineup. I was kind of surprised that they went with Eric Gordon at the 3 in the first preseason game. Honestly, it's something that they've done ever since they lost Trevor Reese. Eric Gordon has seen himself plugged into the starting rotation a lot often, and I'm honestly curious if it's just something that they've kind of spoken with Eric Gordon about, and maybe he's more comfortable or he feels he's better as a starter. I know whenever he's been asked by reporters, at least in previous years, he said it doesn't make much of a difference for him regardless of whether he starts or is off the bench. But honestly, I feel it'll be interesting to see how they start off the game. Like I said, again, we touched on preseason. You can't put too much stock into it, but I know Steven Silas also said that he's going to be looking to plug in as many different lineups he can just to see what type of matchups he can get with his players playing different positions and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they play out even though it's preseason.
And real quick, Will, I'll come to you. But the Heat starters, Jimmy Butler, PJ, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson, and Kyle Lowry. So they're going to play a good mix of old and young. So, Will, what are your thoughts on the Rockets starting five?
I like it. I mean, of course, for obvious reasons, I wish I was watching the point guard tomorrow instead of tonight, but I digress. Um, not
Let it go, Will. Let it go.
Nope.
He ain't coming back
Not
to
letting
Cleveland.
that
Let it go.
man.
Let it go.
No, sir. No, sir. But no, I like it. I mean, like, as Andy said, the mix, the young fella, and then you have the veterans with Tice and House, Christian Wood. I would even call a veteran at this point now. Is it what, year 6 for him? Year 6, year 7?
Yeah.
Something along that line. So I mean, I like it, but again, it's the preseason, so I'm sure they're looking for different rotational pieces, see how different lineups match up. And this is what you do. This is what you use this time for, and get ready for the regular season. So,
Tamer, thoughts on the Rockets starting five?
I will just have to see more of all of these guys. Besides Aaron Gordon, they're all pretty new to me, so I don't really have any. I haven't been keeping up with the Rockets lately, but now that preseason has started, I'll definitely take a look and be able to add more insight onto this conversation in the next episode.
ESPN2, 9 o'clock. You're young. You can stay up and watch all of it. So I'm going to take some no-dos so I can stay up to get ready for the post-game show and ask questions. Listen to Coach Silas and the players after that around 11:30, 12:30 for a preseason game. Golly, man. Oh.
I've been seeing them hype. I've been seeing the Rockets players and fans and a couple of people that I follow really hyped about this 2021-2022 team. So we shall see if it's any different than what we've seen in the past.
Rocket fans always get hyped with whatever team they have.
Oh, yeah. This will be a fun team to watch. And Andy, do you know, Andy or Tamer, the Rockets will launch a song, a theme. I don't know if it's a theme song, but a song on the home opener featuring some of the local H-Town rappers, rap legends are putting together a song. Have you heard about that?
I think I don't know too much in depth about it, but I think I did see a post about it. Is that the one where it includes different people? Isn't Bun B on the list?
Yeah. I think Bun B's part of it, and Paul Wall, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And see, Will, those guys getting to be our age,
So Wall, yeah.
So they're getting to be our age, but they're showing love for the H-Town basketball team. Oh, and in case y'all missed it, at Media Day, Mr. House, Daniel House, he's got working on some rap songs, got some skills apparently, and he's got a song with Paul Wall apparently, and it's supposed to be pretty good. I haven't heard it, it ain't jazz, so I haven't heard it. Sorry, but sorry. But Will, come to you first, man. Anything you want to say? Give you the solo screen as we close out the show.
Yeah, it's Hard State football. It's homecoming weekend again. Maryland coming into the shoe as a 21-point underdog. So I look for the Buckeyes to definitely win by more than 3 touchdowns and hopefully move up from their number 7 ranking as the initial rankings for the college football playoffs, I believe, are 2 weeks away. A week, yeah. Not this coming Tuesday, the 12th, but I believe October 20th is the first rankings of the college football playoffs. So hopefully they continue to win and move into that top 4.
How can folks find you on the World Wide Web?
They can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Willy Gibson 7. Will Knows on Facebook, the Will Knows Facebook page, and also www.wtgsports. That's wtgsports.com.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Andy Yanez, I'm coming to you, man. What you got?
Yeah, they can follow me on Twitter at ayanez_5. Like I put here, you can follow if anyone lives in the Pearland Friendswood area. That's my main beat for Community Impact newspaper covering honestly, all sorts of things from government districts, and even the big thing right now is that I had my brain busy last week was the budgets for both of the cities, but then also at Pawd, Slama, Jama for Reach Athletics. Dayon Dunlap and I are going to try something new today after this football game between Houston and Tulane, where we're going to try to see how it goes. We're going to try to use Twitter Spaces to kind of have more of a instant live reaction type of reaction to the game, if that makes sense. But so yeah, we're going to be experimenting with Twitter Spaces, so hopefully that goes good. And also one thing we didn't touch on, but just Apollo Media in general, they're obviously their biggest sport right now is the Houston Astros, who are in the playoffs, who won Game 1 of the ALDS against the White Sox. So pretty good win for Lance McCullers in his performance. That's something you don't want to touch on too much, Chris.
Oh no, hey, I'm not going to bring it up, but if y'all want to discuss the Astros in baseball, feel free. Just don't wait on me to do it.
Yeah, good performance. Barely Game 1, so they're back at it. Game 2, I think it's around 1:00 tomorrow. I don't know why they have playoff games in the middle of the day, but something weird like that. But Houston won. Good performance by Lance McCullers. That's all I can add. I couldn't watch most of the game. I was at work.
Tamer, I'm coming to you now. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
How
So
can folks find you? Go ahead.
Folks can find me on Twitter at TNightSports. That's TKNIGHT Sports. Also on Instagram at TNightSports. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tamer Knight. Just type it in. You'll see a lot of good videos there. Also, be on the lookout for episode number 2 of TSU Sports Show on AT&T Sportnet, like we already discussed. And lastly, any Husky fans, be sure to give me a follow on Twitter. I will be announcing some good news that I've already made known here, but I'm going to be very vocal about it as the women's basketball season is near. So yeah, that's that's 5 of many ways you can access me, and hopefully there will be a lot more to come.
And which Huskies is that? Come on.
Oh, sorry. HBU Huskies, Houston Baptist University. I will be doing interviews, post-game interviews, some play-by-play, and just creating features and stories to tell about the athletes, the coaches. They told me it's my show and I can put it in any direction that I would like. So I'm super excited about that opportunity.
Thank you very much. And you be sure and tell the people at HBU that I would like to be notified of the basketball information. They have my email address. They just don't send me stuff. So I'm putting them on blast right here for everyone to hear, because they know I said it to them before. I said it to them 2 years ago, said it to them last year. My email ain't changed. Phone number ain't changed. Send me information about your teams, because until you do, Tamer can talk about y'all. But until you do, whatever. Put y'all on a boat like TSU. That's just how I am. Hey, y'all got my email address. You know how to find me. You know how to get in touch with me. Y'all follow me on Twitter. Email me. Send me press releases. I don't want to go to the website to find out about news. So, I'm not going to promote you. That's not my job. It's your job to inform the media about what's going on with your program. We're going to wrap it up right there. That shows you a little bit about me, KG, Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. I've been around since 1994, covering basketball and sports. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm too old to wait on people to wake up and send out content information about their program. I have a whole bunch of other teams, conferences, and leagues that send me information. So if you don't, fine, bye. All right, Andy, Tamer, Will, we have to look at our schedules because we're getting close to the games counting for real. So let's work out. Will, what's your next Cavs game?
After this one, the 22nd. So I'm good. This is the only preseason game I'm going to. So next Friday I'm good, but the 22nd I will be in Cleveland.
Next Friday, the Rockets are playing the Spurs, so I won't be good for a show. How are we looking for next Thursday? Is that good for y'all next Thursday?
Sounds good.
Should be.
Because I think the U of H football is on a bye, right, Andy?
Yeah, next week they'll be on a bye.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get James Mueller and maybe Jayla Mason to join us as well next Thursday to talk about U of H football. U of H basketball would have wrapped up their media day with the conference on the 13th. So we can maybe have some clips from that as well, part of the show on next Thursday's edition of Folks Talking Sports. As always, thank you very much for tuning in. Let's see if I can get this right one more time. And a reminder to Rocket fans who are tuning in, I will have a Rockets Talk show, live stream show this Saturday, October 9th. Going to do it at 7 p.m. Central, rather than 8 p.m. Central, because I'm holding out hope that I'm going to be invited to watch the fight somewhere rather than having to spend all that money. So thank you, as always, for tuning in to another edition of Folks Talking Sports on YouTube and Facebook. We will see y'all next Thursday, October 14th. Y'all take care.